So I just felt like today would be a good day to kick things off in a way. But it's a nice bright morning, so I figured let's go for a walk. But today I want to talk about kind of what, I titled this episode as how we learn leadership from the Bible. Now, I know some people are going to be like, there's so many chapters, verses in the Bible that could be portrayed as a leadership, educational topic. But today I'm going to focus on John chapter 13. And the main reason is that because, all the years of being in leadership, owning businesses, coaching other people, the one thing I've learned is I got the best out of my people when I was down in their level, when I showed almost servitude to them, when I didn't act like I was better than them. And one of the parts in chapter 13 of John did was when Jesus washed his disciples' feet. He came down to their level to show them that I've taught you so much. I've taught you everything. Now I'm just like you. You're just like me, to the point where I'm not better than you. You're not better than me. I'm going to wash your feet so you can go out and teach what I've been teaching you. And to me, I think that's a huge part of leadership. As a leader and as a coach, our job is not to look over everybody or look down on everybody and tell them what they're doing wrong, what they should be doing. It's to teach them the path, your path, the correct way, the efficient way, the successful way. And then to the point where they're strong enough, they're brave enough, and they have enough courage and strength and know-how to do it themselves. So a true leader teaches other leaders to lead. A true leader just doesn't have followers. Jesus was a great leader. He had 12 followers, and then those 12 followers became 12 leaders in building Christianity. So I would say, if you're having trouble thinking about what's a good way to be a leader, read John 12 or read John 13. It gives you good insight of what Jesus did at the end of his time. Again, he did this right before the Passover, where he had the Last Supper, was crucified. He knew that his time was to the end, and he had 12 people that he could turn into 12 leaders to spread the word. And that's the job. That's our job as leaders. Is we're not here to dictate and rule. We're not here to push. We're here to lead from the front. Give people the courage to do that themselves. It's like all great businesses, all great countries, all great movements come with one leader, and he gets a handful of followers. He turns those followers into leaders, and they, in a sense, lead other people. So essentially like a pyramid scheme. Unfortunately, that's kind of how it falls into. But the idea is to be good leaders is, in my opinion, and it's worked well for me. So if you want to know what I did, where I had success, was treat your followers as how you don't be treated. But also the fact is, turn them into leaders. Don't turn them into followers. They start as a follower, and then you educate them to become a leader. And that's the goal. That's the goal of every leader, is to have your voice spread out. That's how you build your legacy. Again, parents are leaders. They educate the children. But as a parent, our goal is to turn those kids into leaders themselves so they can lead their family someday. It's the same thing. If you have subordinates underneath you, your job is to turn those subordinates into management and other leaders. And then they use your platform to grow. And then there you go. It's a copy of you. The better leaders have copies of themselves. It also makes me think about General Patton. When he started the tank division, I think in World War I, we had like 8 tanks. It was a very small tank division. And he grew that into a massive, I think 35 tank division because of his leadership. That's what it is. Leadership. Need to add some more things. So yeah, ending on Patton's increasement of his tank division, which I'll make sure all the facts are in the description below. But things like that, that's what causes great leadership. And going back to chapter 13 of John, is his goal was to push his disciples, John, Paul, Mark, Luke, all 12 of them, except Judas, into leaders. And that was his goal. And they had a hard time, in hearing that, because they didn't want to lead, they wanted to follow. They didn't realize that all the stuff that Jesus was doing was to get them ready for that. Like when he had them all go out on themselves to go preach the word. That wasn't just for a task just for them to do so he didn't have to do it. He did it to see how they could handle themselves. Also get their feet wet. Because again, Jesus' he knew his plan. His plan was to find a group of men and women, spread the word to them, and have them learn from him and build the confidence that he was the Messiah. He was the Lamb of God. So when he did die, they would see that he was truthful in everything he spoke, and then they would spread that word that he's been preaching and give us what we have today. And now, I'm not saying that you're Jesus, but if you're a leader, act like him. Ground yourself, bring your followers or the people that you lead into your circle and teach them. Bring out their weaknesses. Show off their strengths. Let them know that they're human. They will make mistakes. But guide them. Comfort them. Give them the advice and the push that they need. Don't coddle. Jesus didn't coddle. He basically called out the sins of his followers and gave them a better path. You do the same thing. Call out your employees when they mess up, but give them a better path. Give them some ground to stand on and make some great leaders. Go out and do it.